He's not really doing anything.
Turd Ferguson. It's a funny name.
Nah, I don't think he can do that anymore.
Always record.
Down by the river.
I don't get that reference.
Nostradamus.
How now,
I ought to beat you to death.
brown cow?
Susu Studio.
Susu Supernova.
Welcome to the XYZ podcast. This is episode 32. I am Millennial Producer Tony. Joining me, as always, are your hosts, Gen X Brian
What's happening?
and Gen Z Winston.
What it do?
There we are.
There we
Some
go.
unfamiliarity from me, and back to the familiar Winston.
Right.
Wait, why are you unfamiliar?
Like I said, switch it up a little bit
Yeah.
here. Figured episode numbers at the beginning, kind of nice.
That's good. 32 of them, man. That's
32, still going.
Yeah.
the last couple ones I've noted that. I'm like 30. That seems like, these guys are serious about doing it or something.
No, seriously.
You'd almost think we were making money or something.
No, I was just gonna say
Almost
that.
think
I
that.
was like, I was like,
You'd be wrong.
You'd be
buy our merch. Wait, do we get a cut of our merch?
Hey,
Okay.
as a reminder, we've got a website, Podbean. It's geez, oh man. Redo podcast xyz.podbean.com. You can buy merch. We do get a cut of that. Then you get a nice product and we get some money, in which case we could do fun things and maybe you get extra content. We could maybe do things like go to medieval times
Yeah.
or send Winston to Melting
That's-
Pot to report back finally.
Yes. We need to get the
Now
folks in
what?
Uzbekistan on board to spread the word.
No, seriously.
Yeah, where's those rich Nigerian princes?
Yeah.
Tell them we need some of their bank money.
Do you guys
We're
still
not
get
helping them
those?
open it.
Do
No,
you guys-
thankfully.
Yeah, they've kind of tapered off, but for
Yeah.
a while there, I would always get the ones. It wasn't the Nigerian prince, but I've come into the money transferred into your account, and you need to move it to this one, and then move it to that one. You know what I'm talking about?
Not I.
That
You
was
did not
the
get
original
those-
scam, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Winston. So that used to be the scam email that would come in, and it was like you somehow you were like the heir of like some huge sum of money. And of course, this is ridiculous. They're just like
Uh-huh.
assuming people are going to be like, yeah, sure, give me 2 million.
Yeah.
And you have to give them like your bank account numbers and like
So they
it's
can
such a
wire it. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
And so basically you just turn all over your information to them. But
Oh, God.
yeah,
Did
that
people
used to be
actually fall for that though?
yes.
Really?
I think people did.
I guess it's some idiot in the middle of America that would totally fall for that.
There was a
Old people,
website.
man.
Yeah.
It's the
I-
infancy of the internet. People fell for a lot of things.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
there was this website. I think it was called 409 Eaters. Because I think that scam, the money scam was labeled 409 or something. And this guy would string these people along, and he would see how long he could keep these scammers thinking that they were gonna dupe him out
Yeah.
of cash. And so he would keep correspondence with these people as long as he could and make them do ridiculous things like, oh, in order for my church to accept this gracious donation, I need a picture of you. We're like the church of the bread of life, and we need a picture
Yeah.
of you with a loaf of bread sitting atop your head. And then these guys would do it because they're like they were scamming the scammers, and they totally
Yeah.
thought like if we do everything this person asks, they're going to totally believe that we're going to give them $2 million. And
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Looks like they're still around. Largest scam baiting community on the planet. Dedicated to fight against 419 and internet scams.
Is,
Oh, 419? Okay,
Is
419.
that like 619?
What is 619?
Oh, that's Rey Mysterio's signature move.
Is
Never
that one
mind.
dude? Is that one dude the dude that created the famous "Do Not Redeem" video? Is he
It
part
might.
of them?
Ooh, I don't know.
No, these guys are at least from when I was there, it was the correspondence, the email back and forths.
Right.
Because apparently you've got these people sitting in a hut somewhere with an internet connection sending out thousands of these, hoping that someone will bite, and then when somebody does, the idea was to keep them busy with a scam one. That's fewer actual people they could get to to trick in real life.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird though. That I totally assumed that you would have, that you would have dealt with like scam emails. But I guess by the time you were
I
really
think-
using email, they had much better spam filters.
It wasn't just that, but it was also like because I was I grew up around the age of the internet. I feel like I got better at noticing what's a scam and what's not. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Because I not once as a kid had I ever thought clearly I'm gonna get some like $2 million off of this random person. who just,
Right.
you know, made-
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was, I think they assumed
Here's the
more
thing, though.
people would be like, "Ooh, I'll take them up on that."
So not that, right? But I almost did fell for a little like fake phishing ad type of thing back in the day where it was like, you've won a free Nintendo 3DS. I'm like, hell yeah, I did. And it's like, and it was like, provide your credit card information so that we can, send it over to you. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I went and, totally as a 12-year-old, I asked my sister-in-law, I goes, hey, can I get your credit card info? She's like, why? I said, well, I want this Nintendo 3DS thing, and I gotta like put your card in so I can get it. She was like, "That's a scam." I was like, "Well, it's not a scam because it was on a really famous gaming website, so it's totally not a scam at all. They wouldn't put a scam on their page. That wouldn't make
Nah.
sense. That could never. They would
No.
never. Yeah,
Trust me, I know them. They're good people.
exactly.
I will have to upload so that we can share my discount Ray-Bans video.
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a new pair of sunglasses a few years ago, and my wife kept seeing these ads on Instagram, and I don't use Instagram except for this show. And one day she's just like, it's like they're like $25 for the pair of Ray-Bans. I was just like,
It's a deal.
whatever. Yeah.
What a steal.
Listen,
What a
she's
steal.
on the website. I'm going, maybe she knows something that I don't, whatever. So I picked this pair out, put in information, and took the money, and it just went. As soon as I did it, and I saw the charge come in from like China, I went, shouldn't have done that. That was bad. That was real bad. And I didn't put in like all of my credit card information. I just put in like payment information. So they didn't
Right.
have our account information. But yeah, and I was and there's money that's just gone. They just got it. And sure enough, like a month and a half later, these things show up.
That's crazy.
So
yeah.
Slow drop ship rates from China.
I
Yeah.
took them on a trip up to my family in PA and opened them with them because I went, this is going to be a show. Like,
An
I can't
unboxing.
believe I actually received anything. There could be glasses in here. There could be a brick. It could be broken glass. It could be anthrax. It could be
It's
anything.
a finger. It's a finger. Somebody's fingers. in there.
Maybe. Yeah, who knows? I have no idea what I'm about to open, but boy, was it a good video. And
Did
it
it come
just
in
ended
an
up
Oakley box or would you say Oakleys or Ray-Bans?
Ray-Ban.
Ray-Ban
Yeah,
box.
I mean, it came in like a janky looking Chinese
Yeah.
knockoff package.
Here's the thing. I feel like we shouldn't do that, obviously, but I'm all for buying fake stuff from China all the time. So it's just like I've done it multiple times since I was like 16. So now it's just like, and the Chinese government probably have a backdoor into my bank account. But the moment they see how low my money is, they'll probably
They
just
don't
laugh
care.
at me. Yeah. They're not gonna steal anything from
So,
me. They know I don't got shit.
Winston's security plan: be broke for life.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, they
They
can't
can't
steal if you don't got nothing.
Exactly. They can't steal. You don't
Yeah.
got it. That's so
Oh.
funny. But yeah, like when I was like 16, like we would buy like fake Yeezys all the time. Like me and my friends, we would buy fake Yeezys from China, and it would take like 2 to 3 months to ship. But we're like, hey man, we got fake Yeezys for $15, and they look like trash. But it was that, and then recently I bought myself a fake Prada tie because I was like, I'm not gonna spend $395 on a stupid tie that's made from recycled plastic, So I was like, I'll go buy a fake one for $15. Sure enough, it shows up. I have it. It's nice. Nobody's gonna say anything,
Well, so what if somebody says, "Is that what was that real, or where did you get that?" What
Oh,
are you,
yeah,
are
it's
you, are you
obviously-
pretending it's real?
Yeah, of course. Unless they're in the stream right now, they're not gonna know. Let's see, we
Right.
got 7. Shit, that's a lot of people. I didn't think that was that many people.
Oh, see, now everybody knows Winston's repping fake
They're
brands.
spreading that information now.
It's just me and you, Chad. Nobody
Wait,
else.
there's just there's websites you can go and buy like counterfeit shoes, and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
counterfeit.
Well, yeah.
See,
well,
now that's interesting. Is just like, all right, well, everybody knows where to go to buy the actual product.
yeah.
Is it easy to find the knockoff stuff?
It's harder to find a
That's what
knockoff
I'm
stuff.
wondering. So it's
Okay,
harder
yeah.
to find it, but
Yeah.
would that not be a cool thing to just do? Just go, I'm just gonna buy knockoff everything.
Yeah. Well, that's that.
Tony's
So here's
getting
the
his
thing.
Christmas ideas down now.
So here's the thing:
Yeah.
buying knockoffs used to be very niche. Like you wouldn't be able to go and just find anything. Like when I was in high school, which was like what 2016, 2017, that was when it was real hard to find all of these things. 2018, 2019, and then especially during the pandemic, Reddit blew up. Like there was a subreddit where you can go and people would posts like where to buy fakes, and like you can go on and be like, hey, I'm looking for this certain product, can somebody provide me with stuff? And in the subreddit you will have moderators who are actual people that have stores in China that would sell these stuff, and they would comment and be like, hey, I have it, if you want to you can like chat it up with us. But the standard practice was you want to go through a middleman, so there's always going to be a middleman.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah. So there's always going to be a warehouse type ordeal, and you would buy from different. So what a lot of people do was they wanted to do a haul, so they would pull in a ton of product before they shipped it overseas. So they would have this warehouse and they'll have their own little bin, and so they'll go to all of these vendor through their agent of the agent from the warehouse. They'll purchase all of these items. The item gets shipped to the warehouse technician then take photos and send it to you for you to QC it to see if it's good or not. If it's not, you can return it. If it's good, they'll throw it into your bin. So over time, you'll accumulate this giant bulk of just fake stuff. Like a lot of motherfuckers would do that. So by the time they're ready to ship, they'll ship out a 48-kilogram box full of nothing but counterfeit fashion.
Dang.
And then at that point you pay like $700-800 worth of shipping. But if you think about it, you're paying $700-800 worth of shipping for what would consider at least $15,000-20,000 worth of fake stuff. And so people then like would do these giant haul, and it became almost like a competition on Reddit to see who can get the biggest haul to their house without like custom rating it, right?
Oh my gosh, man.
And a lot of the time, American Custom does not care. So a lot of the time, those packages make it to America. Pretty much, I would say like 100%, no, at least 90% of the time.
Oh man.
But Europe cracked down on them a lot. So you would see
Mhm.
like people posting like a screenshot of their email and say, hey, your package got repossessed by like the France custom or whatever, you're not going to be able to get your stuff. And then at that point you lose out on $800 worth of shipping and however much you had already
Ooh.
spent before that. And so it just come down to praying that you get your money back somehow.
So you're that's as you're smuggling foreign goods.
Exactly. And
Smuggling.
so who would have thought that was illegal?
Yeah.
Not me. Over time that became like the standard practice, and then people would boast
How do you
about
know
it.
this? Are people putting videos up that this is what they're doing?
Exactly. And that's what I was going to tell you next is people kept boasting about it, and then like
Oh man.
everybody want to be an influencer nowadays.
Yeah.
So obviously they
Yeah.
ran to TikTok and goes, hey guys, come here. You should check this out. Look at where I got all my fake shit. Look at all my fake designer.
And here's how I did it.
Yeah. And so there was a giant warehouse known as Panda Buy, and Panda Buy was sort of like the eBay of counterfeit Chinese good, right? Like stuff you can just get that would have been extremely expensive. And they worked.
So I could go to pandabuy.com.
Well, not anymore. You can. I'm pretty sure you can still go to Panda Buy, but I don't think you can buy it anymore because the FBI finally raided, or like whatever government agency finally raided their
Interpol.
place. Yeah, finally raided the what's it called? So now they're not allowed to send out any packages, and they're not allowed to accept anything. But obviously, if you go on the subreddit and you're looking, and they're like, yeah, we're still working with the government and the foreign enforcement or whatever. Once things get figured out, we'll let you guys know.
No, they
That kind of
won't.
halted. Like this is the last 2 or 3 weeks, so it kind of halted the whole like buying fake goods from like China type of ordeal.
Man, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And so like
Now the only way to get your fake things is to get scammed.
well,
Like,
the only
like the good old American
Yeah.
way.
the other way of getting fake stuff is flying straight to China and buying it yourself, but nobody's gonna do that.
No.
But I will say it was like it gone so intense at one point. I remember going online and they go, "Oh yeah, I have a spreadsheet of like all of the item that I bought. If you want any of it, I'll just share with you." So it's like a bunch of Google Sheets, like links, all in Reddit that you can just access, and that will get you anything you ever wanted. You can buy like fake stuff that you wouldn't imagine. Like they were selling a fake Meta Quest. Like, why is there a fake Meta Quest? You
I
know?
can't. It's stuff like that where you
iPhone.
just go. I can't imagine it's any
Yeah,
good though.
a
I like
fake
none of it
CPU.
works.
It just doesn't make any sense. And it's just like, but people did it. People pulled a trigger on them.
But I keep seeing some commercial for just like, I bought this KitchenAid stand mixer for $20, and I'm just going.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, "That's not real, is it?" I'm like, "There's
Yeah.
no freaking way. There's
made
no
of
those
plastic.
people are stealing your money or."
No, like you
Yeah.
got to read the fine print. It's like so and so bid 97 times, and each bid, cost 20 cents per bid or something.
Right.
Yeah,
I know what commercial you're talking about, but yeah, that's ridiculous. These people that just like are fanatically shopping at home.
Right. Yeah,
It used to be that novel.
But nowadays it's the TikTok shop, Brian. Like we talked about it. Like
Oh, yeah.
have you bought anything from the TikTok shop? Tony?
No. It's one of those things where, like the discount rate bands where I'm just going. I'm afraid to.
But
I'm
do you
afraid to because
want to, at
I'm gonna
least?
get scammed or it's gonna be crap.
But would you like? I want to. I really do. Here's the thing. One of my roommate does actually buy stuff from the TikTok shop.
Like what do they sell?
Anything and everything you can think of.
Can I get a Peloton bike? Can I get
Well, let's find out.
a bobsled?
You look that up.
Yeah.
Chat's going. Go to Ollie's. They got good stuff cheap.
Ollie's.
Ollie's. Someone mentioned Temu.
There- yeah,
Temu is essentially just what
Were they the ones running ads during the Super Bowl?
yes,
I think?
yes,
And I'm just
it was
going.
them, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the biggest drop
You know how
shipper
much
from China.
money they were pulling in to even do that in the first place? Like,
Lots. They don't have to
yeah,
pay
had to
their
have been a lot
employees. It's
To run a Super Bowl ad and multiple of them, a lot.
okay, this is interesting. If you go on TikTok shop is only available on your iPhone. It doesn't work on the computer. Yeah.
Because
Mm.
it needs you to make the most impulsive buy. Well, you can just do it with
Exactly.
your thumb. If you're on the
That's it. We
computer,
can't
you
steal
think
your
about it.
information through the computer. Through your phone, though, perfectly
It's
acceptable.
very easy.
Here's the
Much
thing.
easier. There's an
Tony,
app for it.
have you noticed it? If you ever click on a product that's in the TikTok shop and then all of a sudden for the next 3 days, the only video you'll get are of that.
Again, I don't swipe over there.
Right.
I stay
you-
on my For You page and I go, I'm safe here.
Here's the thing. I don't swipe over either, but occasionally here and then they'll do like a video on certain product. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me see how much it is, and I'll just click on the
Oh.
link to see how much it priced.
See, I'd like to take this moment to point out that this is why it's a bad idea that the Chinese
Well,
own
listen,
TikTok.
this is just
This
a.
is-
Well, I think it's
Check this
become more
out.
legitimate. I think people are selling stuff on
Look at the
TikTok.
stick shift that I have on my thing for
It's
$62.
so bad. They're listening to you, man.
Yep.
$62.49. They got
I think it's become more legitimate because it's an official thing on the app now, so it's probably a little safer. But
it is an actual store though, Brian. Like there's the vendors are real vendors. Like I'm talking about like this is an actual Logitech vendor, not just a random guy in China selling, hey, I got Logitech stick
As
shift
far
and
as you
whatever."
know.
Yeah.
Brian,
That's fair.
this is infomercials for Gen Z.
Oh, it is.
That's what it is.
Sure
That's
is.
all that is.
Yeah.
It sure is.
It is Home Shopping Network QVC
On
on your
crack.
phone
Yeah.
with an algorithm. So
Yes.
you don't have to sit through an hour of Teddy
Right.
Bear China before
I'm
you get to the
waiting-
electronics hour to see if there's something you want. You can just get fed the crap electronics straight to your eyes whenever you want it now.
quickly, and I just have to push a button.
And they're just dying to show it to you.
Oh man, Winston, did Home Shopping Club QVC does ring any bells?
Yeah, I know.
You ever
I know
watch some,
QVCs? Yeah,
Yeah?
I think Tony showed me a clip of QVC where the guy freaking fell from a ladder.
Yes,
The ladder
that
was
is-
good.
that's a
That was,
classic
like, my
internet
favorite
QVC
one.
clip. Yes,
Or the one where they're showing like the one of a kind cylinder
Edison
and a guy
cylinder.
freaking shatters it. Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, shh.
that poor guy.
I've
So
been to QVC.
You've been
What?
to QVC?
Yeah, their studios is near Philadelphia. I stopped there
What?
on a work trip once on my way back home. I was just like,
They offered tours,
free tours, man.
free tours
Holy
of the
shit.
QVC.
Free tours
studios.
of the
Oh.
studios. Yeah. The
Tony
creepiest thing
walks
was
in.
just like, they're like, you can see all your favorite QVC personalities. And there's just like cardboard cutouts everywhere.
Aw.
Oh, no.
Tony walks in
No.
and goes, and that's where he fell.
Yeah. That's where that guy died on the ladder.
No, literally.
So you've seen those, but you've seen those as like internet clips. Have you ever like
Yeah.
actually watched Home Shopping
I
Club
ne-
in real life, in real time?
I
Gotcha.
never had cables. Did you need cable to
No.
watch QVC or no?
Yeah, it was a cable thing. It wasn't a network.
Exactly. Yeah, I never had cable to be able to watch QVCs.
So you've also never experienced the TV Guide channel.
No, what's that? That's a TV Guide channel.
So
Oh,
originally,
man.
in order to figure out what was on when you were at the supermarket, you bought a little book called TV Guide.
Right.
And you'd flip through there for like, it had like the TV programming for the week, the month.
Probably weekly, I would think.
I would think so. And it was just blocks. It was just like, all right, these pages are CBS. And it would tell you Monday on CBS, here's what's running, and give you blurbs about the new episodes and things. And then eventually they just had their own channel. So it was just this scrolling guide.
It just scrolled the TV Guide, basically.
It just played like Weather Channel music, like local on the eights, like
yes,
smooth jazz while
I gotta
waited
look
for
up-
your channel to show up.
I
Then
gotta look up a video of it just to know
oh,
what you're
it's
talking
good
about.
music. Eventually, TV Guide channel started getting fancy, and they would just play movies.
and
Really?
programming. Yeah, it
So
had
half of
programming on the upper
the
half.
bottom
yeah.
was just scrolling guide, and the top was just a movie running.
Oh,
And they-
okay.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
and then
so
you'd have
they
to
got,
wait for
like-
it to go around the horn. That's
they
when you're
got-
like, okay, I gotta see what's on.
They
Yeah,
got one from
it's always you'd show up looking
2001.
for channel 34, and like channel 40 is just scrolling past. You're
Yeah,
like,
like,
son,
"Ah,
I
I
gotta
gotta go."
freaking wait like 5 minutes to see my show.
Gotta go around the horn again. All right.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
then you get stuck watching whatever videos above, and you miss your
then you miss it
channel.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was like the worst was school closings.
Oh yeah, the crawl.
You can see the freaking frequency tweak.
Command 6.
Oh, this is so they've
What,
moved
did
on
a
to
Brita
advertising.
filter
Yeah,
ad?
this is. Yeah, I guess they have the channel, but I guess they started airing ads.
2001.
Yeah.
NBA fans have a reason to cheer.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
There's a
So
great
it's just
matchup
time
on tap,
block.
and it's
I guess
Yeah,
that's-
you can see the time's 8:45, so you can see
Yeah.
what time it is, and you go, okay, 9 o'clock's coming up.
That's really funny
got
that
a
you never
Sabres
had
at
to deal with
Rangers
this.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, public
Okay.
access.
But yeah,
So
you
that's-
just wait. Yeah, it would scroll all of them, and
That-
then
Weird. Like I've never seen that. Here's the thing, because when I grew up, there was a button, you just click guide and it would opens up all of the channel and you can surf through it with the time already set up.
Eventually, cable and satellite had always done it. Yeah. Once you got
Yeah.
fancier technology, it was just you could just go look at it. But
Right.
there was a point in time where you couldn't, like now, you couldn't just get everything instantaneously. You had to go somewhere and wait patiently.
there was a point in time where you had to click a knob to get to the number. Like, I'm
You
on
had-
channel 2.
You
Yeah.
had like 7 channels and no remote, and you had to get up to change a channel.
Yeah.
You gotta twist it. That sounds terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like
People were happy to have a TV in their home.
Yeah,
they just
and,
went,
and
this is
you
what
were
you have. though."
settling in. You didn't have. Here's the thing that I hate is when you're just you're scrolling for something to look at. This you were like, okay, we know it's on channel 2. Boom, we're putting it on. You sit down
Right.
and then you watch the program. So in that sense, it was good because you occasionally got to look forward to things.
And it's sad because like channel surfing doesn't exist anymore. It's switched to like
It's app
going to
surfing.
it's app surfing. Yeah, you go to
Yeah.
whatever app and just scroll through stuff mindlessly.
yeah.
But you just looking at like posters, I guess, for the shows. But
Yeah.
you used to just
That's true.
like just go channel up, and
Yeah.
you'd actually see parts of the show to see
Right.
if you like them or not.
Well,
you
that's
don't
the
get
thing,
you
I
don't
was
do
gonna
that
say-
anymore.
No, I was gonna say you can still do it. You just have to be in a hospital for it, because I did it when I was in a hospital. I was like, I was never more have I hated being anywhere, because you're just in a bed, you're like this the whole time, and you're just and it's
just like being on your
Like-
phone.
yeah, but it's like
Or chat set or hotel.
Yeah.
or hotel.
That's true.
That's a good
That's
point.
true.
Yeah.
Yes, very good point.
Yeah.
Always in a
But
hotel.
it's just
Next, next.
you're just switching, and you're constantly hitting the button, and there's never anything good on.
No.
It's always
But you get to see things that you normally wouldn't see, and maybe you discover something.
But here's the
Maybe.
thing. You're
Maybe.
right, but I will
Doubtful,
say
but maybe.
I will
Maybe.
say it is very like there's something ASMR about just hearing a tiny bit of a TV show and then constantly skipping to the next one and
It's
the next one.
TikTok. That's exactly what you do all day with
I guess,
TikTok.
but
You
with
can still get
TikToks-
that if you get in your car, turn the
Uh-huh.
radio on, and click scan,
Oh,
and it'll
okay.
just
And finds it,
scan
yeah.
through any
Yeah.
signal that it's getting. So you can still get that a little bit.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. But I will say, so when I was channel surfing while I was in the hospital, I freaking stumbled upon a Vietnamese channel. There's a full blown
You're
Vietnamese
proving my
channel.
point, man. You would never have known that existed had you not been clicking through channels.
Exactly.
Channel surfing's great.
Hey, how
I
about
started
this?
at 0 and I kept going and going. And then I'm like, okay, we got a Korean channel here. Makes sense since we're in, Georgia. There's a lot of Korean. I kept clicking and I kept clicking. And it was like, why do I hear my mother's tongue? And it's just like, I'm like, what the shit is this? And so my mom is there in the hospital with me. I'm like, Mom, do you see this? What is this? And she's looking at it. And for whatever reason, it was programming from Vietnam from like 1999 to like 2001.
I was just going to say, this is a show she's already seen.
It's stuff that is real old for no reason. So like me and my mom watched like a Vietnamese soap opera together.
Oh,
Like, what? Yeah, I'm
See?
like, this is cheesy as shit, but bring it on.
The problem is you had to get to like channel 375 to get to it. You started at 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, but listen, he got to have a moment at the end of it when he found
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next thing we found was like, it was like a random music show. Like my mom is sitting here. She's like, oh my God, I know who that artist is. And I'm just
They're
like,
watching Vietnamese Bandstand, Brian.
yeah, exactly. It was Vietnamese Idol. But yeah, it was so weird. Like we saw that and we're just like, never thought we would see the day. And then you click next and it's back to 0.
Next time, go backwards. Go the other direction. Channels.
Someone
Oh,
said
man.
the old horse racing channel was awesome. It was Dave.
Dave's in the chat. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a horse
I was
racing
gonna say, I
channel.
don't
They
think
had
we-
some weird, they used to have a surgery channel.
What?
Yeah.
And you could just
Yeah,
watch
I do remember
people
that.
operating on other people.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was one of those things where it was just like partial morbid curiosity
Oh,
and
yeah.
partial like this is making me nauseous and that needs to be turned. Like
Cable
I
TV
feel queasy and I need a different channel.
Cable TV is a weird place because it's like you can just watch anything. It's like, why is there somebody getting surgery? Why is there a porn documentary after 9 p.m.? If you're just happen to like scroll on, freaking surfing.
If you think it's weird now, I'm telling you, like 2001 cable was something
Worse?
else,
Oh,
man.
that's crazy.
It's just bizarre.
How so?
It was like the golden age of cable. Like now it's just trash stuff. Like it was back at a time where MTV was still music TV or changing from music TV into what it is now. As you have like the Real World and Jackass and stuff. You had a horse racing channel and a surgery channel back when the History Channel was actually doing history programming.
Not aliens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They went hard. With the
TLC
aliens.
was actually the learning channel and not whatever it is now, you know?
Yeah, how did that happen? I always wondered
So,
that. I was
here's
like,
the thing though, TLC, I like to think TLC is the learning channel still. You learn from other people's mistakes.
my 500-pound wife
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's just like,
you know?
I'm not, he was like, oh, look at that. Have you ever wondered how a 500-pound person shower?
No.
Exactly. That you
I
did
did
learn
maybe,
something.
but I didn't want to see it.
I didn't need to know. Did not need to know. Not
but
my
yeah.
Or like
problem.
Food Network. Now, Food Network, to be fair,
Still food.
it's not bad, but it's like, it was just cooking shows, like
Yeah.
old school cooking shows.
Man,
time.
did you ever, Winston or Tony, have you ever seen the original Iron Chef? The one that was
The
from
Japanese one? Mhm.
Yes.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh, that show was great.
Didn't watch a lot of that. I did watch a lot of Emerald. Bam! With my family.
They
Emerald
liked
Lagasse?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a big deal when he was opening up a restaurant in Orlando. I remember he was like, Mr. Celebrity Chef, and now
Bam.
yeah. He had the BAMs, and then Wolfgang Puck was another one that
Oh, yeah.
was
And
like-
Morimoto?
yeah, he was an Iron Chef.
He was, yeah.
He was
Bob-
awesome. Yeah. But
Bobby
the ori-
Flay? You got
the
all your
original
celebrities on
show, yeah, Winston was it was overdubbed. The way they overdubbed the vocals was hilarious. Like it was just like just like
It-
these weird sayings and just it was hilarious. They'd eat crazy things like sea urchin and just bonkers stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Takashi's Castle?
Yes.
Better known in the US as MXC,
most
Extreme Elimination
Challenge.
Challenge.
Yes.
That's
No.
that's what Iron Chef was always to me. It was just the food version of
The
that.
food version of that. I stumbled upon that when I moved to Atlanta. It was like some Saturday afternoon and ended up on whatever channel that was playing. And I sat down and just laughed my ass off at the
It was like some weird physical challenge show with like the general public in Japan. But when they brought it over
Yes.
here, they dubbed over everybody. And like one of the announcers they called Guy LaDouche. And like it's off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
man,
look that
yeah,
up at some point. That sounds hilarious.
Somebody
yeah.
fell out. He's
MXC
like,
is a
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
that's a good show.
Okay, I'll make
yeah,
sure
they're
to
like rolling down the hill in a wagon, and they fall over. And the announcer's like, "Oh, looks like we have a premature evacuation." It just, it was just like ridiculous off the wall things. Like the overdubs were fantastic.
Was it kind of like Wipeout or like?
Yes,
Kind of.
a lot more aggressive than
Oh, yeah.
Wipeout, but
Yeah.
yes.
What channel did they ever show Wipeout on? I only watched Wipeout as a kid when I was.
Wipeout was like
It was
an
like on
ABC,
ABC, I think
network
so,
show.
yeah.
Oh, really?
This was,
Okay.
I remember finding it on G4.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Again, a weird cable station.
Wait, I thought G4 was a YouTube channel.
G4 was a cable network, and then they like
That's
got
where
shut down, and then
that's where Olivia Munn was known,
Mhm,
right?
Attack of the Show.
Don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
That's where that's the show that she got famous on. It was
What-
her and oh boy, what was his name?
What is
That other
Attack
guy.
of the Show?
It was just
It
it
was-
was an internet show, right? I don't think I
No,
ever
it was a
watched
cable show.
Oh, it was a
where they
cable
like
show? Okay.
they reviewed tech and
11 seasons.
like anime and things like that.
Huh.
Nerd
Um,
stuff.
Nerd stuff, yeah. So
yeah,
but
what
you
was the
telling me G4 was not the other guy is
Kevin Pereira.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kevin
Who do I know
Pereira
him
and
for?
Olivia Munn were the two hosts, and they
So
did
that
weird,
was
wacky
the-
stuff. It was like an internet. It was like a 2012 YouTube internet show, a decade before, but on cable.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff like that. Like, was it the Soup
Talk Soup?
Talk Soup with Joel McHale?
Yes.
And then eventually that like sort of rolled into
Well, it was
like,
great. It was Greg Kinnear. It was John
Henson.
Henson.
But that became like Ridiculousness on MTV and Tosh 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the early days of things that got
That would
to
have
be
been
big.
on the internet, but instead was on cable essentially.
Well, then
Yeah.
Tosh 2.0 was taking some of the I watched that and it was kind of funny, but then they had like a gross out segment, and I was like, yeah, no, thank you. That's not
I never
my
found
thing.
him funny. I don't know. I never found Tosh 2.0 funny or just Daniel Tosh in general.
Oh man, anybody want to guess what network Talk Soup was on?
Adult Swim?
E.
No, E.
Yeah.
E? Like entertainment?
Like E with an exclamation point. Was
Yeah,
the name of the
he
channel.
started out cool before it turned into the, cesspool of reality television.
Oh god. That's where they air Keeping Up with the Kardashian, huh?
I think so, right?
Is it? Oh,
I'm not keeping
boy.
up with them, so I don't know.
Come on, man. You gotta keep up with the Kardashians.
I don't. I seriously like any chance I can avoid that family. I'm hoping that if eventually everybody will just start ignoring them and they'll go away.
Yeah. I don't
But
think
you gotta
I
not
don't
look
think
though.
that's
You
gonna
have to
happen.
you just have to not pay attention. Don't pay attention. Don't look. You don't need to say they've got nothing. You
They're
don't
like
need-
rambunctious dogs. Like, don't
Yeah.
give them attention and
Yep,
they'll settle
just
down.
ignore them and they'll go lie down in the corner.
Right.
That's what we're hoping.
But how else am I gonna buy fake Yeezys if I don't know what the next pair of Yeezys look like? I don't
Listen,
think he's-
TikTok will
I don't
feed it
think
to you.
he's-
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
true.
exactly. You're what you're doing. The algorithm's going crazy. Okay, this guy's
Right.
naming brand names. Knock
This
off
thing
Prada.
is listening
We've
right
got
now.
Yeezys-
Like
yes.
I'm gonna get a bunch of like freaking shop recommendation when I open TikTok later.
So I
Um,
just watched. We just rewatched Parks and Rec, and just
Ooh.
because the show is hilarious, and in the very end of it, they have that technology company Grizzle. That this is kind of like the showdown. But it's like it's supposed to be Google, and they're making these jokes that when did Parks and Rec end? 2015. They're making these jokes that at that time were over the top jokes about how they're collecting all your personal information and they mined all this data. They were making jokes about it. And that's actually like watching it again. I'm like, that's actually what they do. They mine every bit of data to, try and create the perfect advertising to you. But yeah, like
February 2015.
so it was in 2015 and just rewatching, I'm like, oh my gosh, the first time we watched this, those jokes seemed outlandish. And now you're like, that's actually what's happening.
I was gonna say, like, that's funny that you brought up. Have you ever noticed how terrible cybersecurity was prior to like 2016, realistically?
That's why people were getting scammed, man.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
holy shit was like it. Not only was cybersecurity terrible, but it was also like people just refuse to like be smart on the internet. I suppose like within the last few years, I feel like we've really stepped up on it. But like my roommates were watching a documentary the other day about Ashley Madison. Have you guys ever heard of that website?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that
So-
the cheating website?
yeah, that was a cheating
Mhm.
website, and
It was all
like,
bots though, right? Did they
I don't
find out?
know.
Yeah, I thought that like they found out like 75% of the people on there were bots chatting
Really?
with
Mhm.
these guys, but they could do it in a manner that it did, seem like it was
People were
another
too
woman.
stupid and didn't know what bots
Yeah.
were yet.
So exactly. And so that was one thing. It was a bunch of bots. And then the other thing was I was able to kind of watch a scene from it with the boys. And it was like this guy goes, yeah, I was just so excited to message these women that I just went ahead and signed up with my real name and address. And it was just like, why the hell would you do that? Like it just sounds terrible.
That way it's easier to get caught, you know.
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, like it's like okay, I get it. Cybersecurity was like like terrible or whatever, but that was just on him. He intentionally went out and did all of that.
Well, I mean, back
yeah.
I remember, I don't know if it still happens, but there was always the people that would post all their pictures on vacation on Facebook and be like, "Oh, we're having a great time." And then people are like, "Hey, we can go around their house. They're not home."
Yeah. Don't post vacation pictures until you're home.
Yeah, that was
Oh, I
a
didn't
big
know
thing.
that. Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Are you serious? Oh, that
yeah.
used to happen often. Or
Really?
at least you'd hear about it. Yeah, is people were so excited to tell everybody else what they were doing right now. They didn't think maybe
Listen.
that's not a good idea.
Listen, I'll give them the same treatment I give the Chinese government. There's nothing here. Just go on.
Can't take
ahead.
nothing if there ain't nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They come in and I just have a bowl and it say donation right in front, and I would just drop a quarter on their way out.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty nifty microphone you're showing off to the world. Tony's
Oh,
microphone
this?
doesn't light up.
It's
yeah,
a loaner.
it's a loner. Huh?
It's not mine. Don't worry about it. You can take this one.
Yeah.
After we record, I have to return it to my friend.
Oh, exactly. You see
Otherwise,
that bed right there? Not even mine. I actually sleep on the floor. I have one pillow and one blanket, and I sleep in the bathtub.
You sound like one of those van life people. They're
Oh
they live-
yeah, the van life YouTuber, man. Those guys are freaking terrible. I can't imagine like putting my life into that. Like just like going to such an extreme to live in a small space and you're like constantly on the move or whatever. That just seemed terrible to me.
It does. It does not appeal to me, but
Here's the
That's a-
thing: they're making money though, right? Like if you're like
Allegedly.
a van life, well, I guess they're also hippies, so I'm assuming it's going to all these drugs or whatever instead. But there's no way you can live a good life in a van without doing heavy drugs on the daily.
I've never watched. I know of those people, but I've never watched them. What do? They just like, hey, we drove out to we're
Yeah.
at the Grand Canyon,
Exactly.
van life.
Yeah, they're just vlogging.
They're vloggers. That's all
They're just telling you what it's like out there.
Yeah. They're like, and then they gotta squeeze in as much as they can about their van and how nice it is to live in a van instead of living in a typical home.
I bet you a bed would be better.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but we have this tiny little, makeshift bed that we gotta crank the car up to I don't know. But it's like always like the most elaborate contraption known to man just to get in bed at night. It's like, yeah, you gotta take this ladder and you gotta like hang it up and then you'll pull out the back. It's just
But
it's
Winston,
weird.
they
It's
can
a
camp under the
15-step
stars.
process. Yeah.
Yes, but they're under the stars.
Exactly. I was like, I guess
That's like I was listening to a Stuff You Should Know podcast episode about hobo signs.
Yeah.
hobo signs.
Yeah, like hobos would leave symbols and stuff at places to be like, don't go here, this guy's nuts, he'll shoot you, or go ahead and go
Oh.
over here, they'll feed you for free.
Do you know what a hobo is, Winston?
No.
Okay.
Really?
So a hobo is, I could tell
Now-
by the look on his face that he looked
let me preface this before you go any further. Where I was going was they gave a breakdown of the difference between a hobo, a tramp, and a bum.
That's
those
three
are-
different things.
Those are three different things.
What about a vagabond? Where do they fit in? A drifter.
Yeah, they're a drifter.
Ne'er do well.
So what's a hobo? Like,
So a hobo is somebody who likes to travel and wants to work. So like a hobo would be somebody who's like
Oh,
looking for work and they'll hop on a train and like ride to the next town and like do a temporary job, and then move on.
They're often depicted with a long stick and a
Bindle?
band. Yes, a bindle. Yes, with a bandana on it. That's your hobo.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Camp down by the tracks, eating a can of beans over a
Okay,
fire.
so
Yeah,
hobos want to work.
classic hobo. Classic hobo behavior, man.
Okay. I always thought a hobo was just a homeless person.
No,
That's
so hobo is somebody who wants
wanna
to work
work.
and wants
Okay.
to travel.
All
Okay.
right.
well,
Tramp is-
nowadays you call them a
tramp,
free soul.
A tramp is somebody who wants to work and doesn't care about traveling. They'll travel
thought a
if they have
tramp-
to find work.
I thought a tramp was just a derogatory term for prostitute.
That's also a negative
could
word
be,
towards a
but,
woman. Yes,
um,
that lady is a
and-
tramp.
And
Yeah.
according to tramps and hobos, a bum is somebody who likes to do neither travel nor work.
So a bum, a no good bum.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay,
a bum is
repeat again. What's a
derogatory.
tramp? What's a tramp?
A tramp wants to work.
Just doesn't want to travel.
They don't care about travel. They'll travel if they have to.
Okay. But a hobo wants to work and wants to travel.
Yeah, like Lady and the Tramp. Like Tramp
Ah.
was in town. Like he was known by everybody. And
Right.
he'd do whatever he needed to get fed and stuff.
Okay.
But
then
he
fell
he
in
wasn't
love.
he wasn't looking for handouts. He'd go do stuff.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. Do we charge him the Disney token? Is the Lady
Yeah.
of the Tramp reference?
Oh, dang it. All
right.
But that's
And
listen.
We should have charged him for his wrestling token too, since he
That's
brought
true.
it up.
True. Oh, that is
you're
true.
right. Yeah, I
Minus
did
two,
say that
minus
too. That's
two.
right. Oh crap.
Oh, man. What's left? I don't know. We won't even bring up what's left.
Star
Yeah.
Wars is already in the bag if you've noticed my name. So
I did not.
Size
What is-
Noodle? What was that?
Oh,
Size Noodles.
yeah.
Size Noodles is the she's the singer for Jabba's
The-
band
the-
in Return
yeah.
of the Jedi.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
another character like Gulp Shito.
No, she's the one with the
nobody
lips,
commented
man.
on it last week. I was bib for tuna.
Oh man.
See,
So-
I can't see your names unless I hold my mouse over your square.
Unless he puts on his glasses and squints.
Yeah, it's Hollywood. Yeah, it's Hollywood
Unless he
Squares.
aimed backwards.
Where is it? Up here. It's it's Hollywood Squares over here. But I don't have your names. But yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, another good classic show. Hollywood Squares.
I've never seen any of these shows that you guys are referring to. I guess it's just because I didn't grow
Freaking
up with them.
Pressure Lock, Card Sharks.
Dude,
all
I
good stuff.
loved
man.
Press Your Luck. Have you seen Press? They brought it back, or
They
they
did.
rerun it. It's not as funny. Whenever it originally aired as a kid, I loved that, and I would root for the whammies because they would crack me up. They were
Hold on.
hilarious.
Winston's so confused.
I'm so confused.
Are you
I haven't-
familiar with the classic game show Pressure Luck?
No.
It was a game show where you had to press your luck.
You'd answer trivia questions to get an amount of spins.
Okay.
And there was a board
Is it like Wheel
with
of
a
Fortune or something?
well, here's what happened. There was a board with a bunch of squares around the border, and a light would highlight and go around to these different squares,
Beep, 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 beep.
and you'd sit there. So some of them had like prizes or money or more
Uh-huh.
spins, but some of them had these little cartoon like devil looking guys called whammies.
Big bucks, no whammies, stop!
Stop it, oh.
Okay.
Which would basically bankrupt you like Wheel of Fortune.
They would take
Oh,
all
okay.
yeah, my whammies would wipe out your earnings.
So you'd sit there with your hand over a buzzer and go, big money, no whammies, boom, and
Yes.
hope that you landed on something good. However many spins you had to continue to use them, or you could pass them, which
Oh.
seems insane. Because like, why would I
Mhm.
give somebody else chances to win money?
Well,
But you
'cause
were
it-
hoping that you
They'll get a whammy, right?
Yeah.
shoulder them with a bunch of spins that they'd have to use and lose all of their
Eventually
winnings.
get the whammy. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But yes, when
That's-
you landed on a whammy, it would have some silly little animation and it would come out and do something ridiculous. The one I remember off the top of my head came out one looking like Boy George singing to like a culture club type song as they swept all the dollars away. This sounds
Jeez.
ridiculous, but this was entertainment in the 1980 somethings
Yeah.
as a game show. But I loved it as a kid.
I was gonna say I didn't watch many game show growing up. I mean, I know Wheel of Fortune and I know Wheel of Fortune and that's it.
Okay, so did you have access to? I've seen, we're talking about Most Extreme Challenge, the insane Japanese game shows.
no. Well,
didn't have
maybe
access to
as
them in Vietnam?
maybe I did as a kid, but I don't remember seeing them. Like I remember watching like a show where like it will be like a cutout of a wall and you have to pose a certain way and like
Mhm.
yeah, so like that's what I've seen, that type of stuff.
Well, they
here
brought
and there.
that to some American TV show, but that was classic Japanese
Yeah.
game show, like fit through the thing.
Right, but I never really got it. I never bothered to watch it because I would rather go watch something else, like a cartoon or Power Rangers or something
They
like
look
that.
Japanese
insane,
game shows
though.
are nuts, man.
Yeah, I'm
Silent
sure
Library is a good one.
Silent Library is an American one, right? It's not.
No, it's
Oh,
Japanese.
really? Okay. So I know the American version of Silent Library, and then that's it. I've never watched the original Japanese version of it, but
Japanese ones are much better because they.
but I
do
did watch
crazy crap.
Japanese Wipeout, so that's what I did watch as a kid.
Yeah, again, most like a lot of modern American, like especially physical game shows, are just dumbed down version of the insane crap they're doing over in Japan.
I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna say that modern American TV shows are dumbed down versions of Japanese TV show, and in my head, I
Sometimes.
wired up an image of Pawn Star, but they're Japanese. Hi.
Oh, that would be, listen,
It's
sometimes
like-
things should go backwards, and I absolutely want to see a Japanese Pawn Star sound. Yeah.
Like, they're real polite to each other. They're like bowing before they like show whatever it is, and they're like, "Well, let me call my
Let me call my guy, yeah.
yeah."
You
And
guys
there's-
just pitched it.
there's
There we
just
go,
an
man.
American Chum
Jap-
Lee who's just
Jap-
in the way all the time. Yeah, I want, boy.
They're bringing in American like historical pieces instead of like a Japanese sword. It's like it's I don't know.
It's a replica
An
Liberty Bell.
AR-15. They bring in an AR-15. They're like, yeah, I know a guy that know a lot about this. Let me call him. It's just
I've got a set of vintage 1930s Coca-Cola glass bottles. How much he's worth? Yeah.
I can do. How much you looking for? 350 yen. Best I can do is 280 yen.
Dude,
There you go,
I
Japanese
think-
Pawn Stars.
I
Yeah.
want to see this. I want to see this so bad. I'm
You're
surprised
right.
that like SNL or someone hasn't done this already.
But the closest thing they
It's
did
too
to that
racially
was
insensitive now. You
Yeah.
can.
I think the closest thing they did to it was a Japanese Office. That was the closest that
Oh,
they did to
really?
it. Yeah. I want more American TV show turned into like a Japanese TV show. I feel like that would be a lot.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
No, matter of fact, do Pimp My Ride, but it's Japanese instead. That
Are they
would
still
be-
pimping people's rides?
No, there was a
No.
big lawsuit about it. That's why they're not allowed to anymore.
What?
Apparently, yeah, like Xzibit got sued for it, and along with the people that did it, West Coast Custom got sued for it, so they stopped doing that show.
Well, I don't know how you get on there. Would you write in? Would they pick somebody at random? How did you get on Pimp My Ride? How was one
I
picked?
think you write in. No, you write in.
Right. So I would think that would be expressed consent, like Pimp
But I
My
think-
Ride.
But
if I like
think
it or
what
not.
was I think what was promised and what was delivered was two different things, because a lot of time they would mess up the person's car. It's just like I think there was one where it's like, yo dog, I heard you like fishes, so we put a pond in your trunk. It's like, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah. You gotta drive around really slow because they'll slosh out and your fish it'll be bad. Just go slow.
Exhibit is like that friend of yours that give that are very inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yo, dog, we heard you like going for walks. We bought you a pit bull.
Yo, dog, heard you like walking, so we replaced the gas pedal with just the Flintstone car.
Winston's cracking himself up over there, man.
Oh, that's so funny.
Did you ever watch Pimp My Ride?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah?
like my favorite show. Yeah, that was an MTV show, right?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it or seen
I-
clips of it, but I don't think I ever watched. I
I
maybe
even had
watched an
the-
episode.
I even had the Pimp My Ride video game as a kid.
They had a
It's-
video game.
Yeah,
Game?
it's cool, man. You pull up to this
You
person.
pimp your ride.
You pimp their car, and then you play an Exhibit, and he's like ghost riding the whip. So he's like dancing as the car is driving. But it
Oh,
becomes
jeez,
like a rhythm
I
game.
actually got that reference.
Yeah, it's like a rhythm game, so you gotta like match whatever arrows shows up. So if you don't, Exhibit trips
Oh.
and falls over.
Oh man, that was a really funny moment in time when you'd see like that was like we've talked about this. That was like post planking where people were dying. They just got more and more dumb as if they like were
Yeah.
unaware of the consequences of running alongside a moving car.
Yeah,
that's-
Ghost.
I was
But
about
ghost
to make
riding has always been a thing, though. I feel like since the early 2000s, I think it just got
Maybe.
worse over the years. That people are just trying to do it again.
And
But
I was
yeah,
about to make fun of the
themselves.
fact that you could play a video game as Xzibit. And Dave's in the chat going, "Oh, you could play as Xzibit in NFL Street 2." I'm going, "Why is he
What?
in two games? Why is Xzibit
Hold on.
a playable character in multiple video games?"
Hey,
I'm like
man,
90% sure he was in Def Jam fighting too.
No! Get him out of the game! Get him out of here! It's like an infestation.
Yeah.
literally.
We got
Like
exhibits
every
all
time
over the
Xzibit
place.
shows up, you gotta spray him with a water bottle. Get off the couch. Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's skedaddle.
Or is it kind of cool that like Xzibit is showing up in video games? That's
What
kind
the
of cool.
freaking heck?
That's funny as hell to me.
Ah.
Let me see if that's true.
Did you
Fight
just
for
make that
New
up?
York. Yeah. Exhibits in Def Jam games. He's in Def Jam Fight for New York to take over.
Winston,
Holy shit.
I think we're not utilizing the Twitch channel enough. I think we have to play every Xzibit video game.
We should.
It seems like it's a short list. Thankfully, every time I say it, it gets longer though.
No, literally.
I
Yeah,
think
no-
we should play every Xzibit game and stream it.
Call the first one Exhibit
Oh.
A, Exhibit B.
It's so weird. Have you guys ever heard of that game though? Like the Def Jam fighting games? Like, did you guys
No.
ever? It's Def Jam is a record label, right?
Yes.
They made a fighting game like Street Fighter style back in the day, but you play as all these rappers and you fight each other. So you can play as Fat Joe, you can play as Ludacris, you can play as Flavor Flav, you can play as
Speaking of
Greg
bad
Dog.
MTV shows, Flavor
Yeah.
of Love, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
But yeah, so it's a bunch of different. Oh, hold on. I do have to look up a list of video games with Exhibit in it. But yeah, we should totally stream for that.
Listen, Dave's chiming back in. Flavor Flav was a playable character in NBA 2K7.
What is like these?
I'm
Like,
telling
if
you.
you're a rapper and you're a cartoon character like rapper, you will be put into video games.
I'm not sure which is sadder, the fact that these people are in multiple games or Dave's knowledge of this
No, seriously.
is awful.
Hey man, I'm glad that he has that information.
But if we're playing games that have Exhibit in it, are we playing as Exhibit or if he's in the game no matter what?
Sure.
Because he's
think
in
you
the
gotta-
Chronicle of Riddick for some reason.
Oh, that's right. He is. Oh boy, I bet you that's an awful game.
Yeah. No,
No,
that's
I
great.
think you have to play as Exhibit, right? Just to
yeah,
see
like
what
if you right.
I think you have to play until you see Exhibit.
No, you have to play until you beat the game as Exhibit.
Is he an unlockable character? Are there cheat codes for Exhibit?
right, exactly. Can I mod Exhibit into the game?
Oh man.
but yeah,
From Pimp My Ride into video games. They know their audience, man.
yeah, but that's so weird. Why the hell? What is Exhibit up to nowadays? Like that's the real
He's
question.
receiving royalties for being in all these video
he's
games.
trying to make new games, man.
Yeah. What else can I get in? What about that Madden? That seems to be pretty popular.
Can you guys put me in the next Call of Duty? It's like
If he shows up in the next GTA, I'm gonna be real mad.
you know,
I bet you there's somewhere,
if
yeah,
there
he's-
was ever
I could see it,
anybody- I would love. Here's the thing.
He's
The
got a
next
club in the
GTA
shady part of
yeah.
Miami.
Here's the thing, GTA collab with rappers all the time. So they have Dr. Dre in the latest one, and I played, my character met Dr. Dre and everything. I wouldn't
You
be
ask for his autograph?
surprised. No, we saved him in the game, but that's whatever. And then they put Anderson .Paak also in the game, and it's just all
It's
right.
better
that's cool.
than Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, but if they put Exhibit in the game, I would love that. I want to put Exhibit on our stream. I want to put Exhibit on
Call
our
him up.
podcast. I don't know. I would be cool.
We were trying. Winston earlier was trying to find contact information for
Jeremy
for Mr.
Jeremy
Fragrance to see if we
Fragrance.
could get him on the show,
Oh.
which would
My whole
be
thing is now-
insane.
Yeah, my whole thing now is being the public relation person for all these like people I'm trying to bring on to
Please.
the podcast.
Please,
Yeah.
if you can get wild guests like that,
I
Yeah.
don't know that I could interview that guy with a straight face.
Well, you don't
I
have
mean, you
to.
don't need
That's
to.
the best part, right?
Right. I think he knows he's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's his whole thing. He's
You
not.
think he
I mean,
would
he's
walk
sniffing
off?
people.
You think he would walk off if you're interviewing him and you're asking him all these questions?
I don't know if
it
he.
depends.
I don't know if
he.
he'd join if he can't sniff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He can't sniff to the internet, man.
I mean,
He would have to
yeah.
sit
Winston
next to
can
me
just.
and
Winston, describe how you smell right now.
his nose
I
is
don't
just in
know.
my
It's-
in my neck the whole time. Jeremy, I don't got any fragrances on. Are you sure?
Smells so sexy.
So,
So-
masculine.
Yeah.
So
Get out of
clearly
here, you
that,
freaking weirdo.
that guy was a hit on YouTube because
Who,
I
Jeremy Fragrance?
yes
He was,
a-
TikTok,
on TikTok and
Instagram.
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh geez, and because my kids knew who he was and thought it was
Exactly.
hilarious that I was bringing up Jeremy Fragrance because why would a person my age know who Jeremy
Here's
Fragrance
a fun
is?
thing. Why don't you ask your kids if they know who Xzibit is next?
And if how many video games he's in?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the total count? 5?
3?
More, probably more. I mean, it's hard.
Well, we had
we know
Pimp Your
there's
Ride,
3. We know there's 3 for sure. 2 Def
Pimp Your
Jam
Ride.
game.
NFL Street 2, Chronicles of Riddick.
He might be in Street Fighter too. Maybe he plays.
Well, he's in
Exhibit.
Def Jams. I don't think he's allowed to be
Oh,
in
Def-
Street Fighter.
oh.
Yeah. He's in 2
Okay.
Def Jam games. You know, video games has been this weird like platform for random artists to collab with. Like, why is Snoop Dogg and Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty?
Snoop Dogg can and will show up anywhere he's asked.
That's
Put
true.
Snoop Dogg in everything. He's
Yeah,
freaking cool,
yeah.
man. Put him,
He has
put
a
him in.
voice package in Call of Duty that you can pay like $2 for, and it's just him doing the voiceover for all of the announcement in the game.
Squad member active. A brother from another mother. Homies out the joint. It's party time.
That's Snoop's day of work. You
Yeah.
know, he
Get
gets
real
up,
high.
he gets so high, and then he just wanders to wherever and either
Yeah.
records or talks to somebody. But
Yeah.
he just sits there all day and is Snoop Dogg, and people
Yeah.
pay him for it. It's
Well,
awesome.
it's that and chilling with Martha Stewart, but other than that, yeah, it's just nothing else.
Listen, let's start a campaign. Exhibit next skin for Fortnite.
Oh, I love that.
What if there's already one?
Oh my! I hope not.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's on there, but he has to like somehow become super relevant again for that to happen. But I looked him up. He's a lot younger than I thought he would be. He's only 49. I don't know why I thought he was a lot older. Exhibit is cool. If
And what was
somebody
his
here-
big song?
Oh, he makes music?
What do you think is in Def Jam?
I only know Exhibit as the video game personality.
Exhibit is
No, I know
Oh
he's
my-
an artist. I just don't listen to any of his stuff because I only know him from Pin My Ride and video games, clearly.
his big song is
X.
I'm not gonna be any help here.
X as in like the one that's his song with Snoop Dogg.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcast live to you and yours. It's Mr. X to the Z Exhibit. Yeah. Bounce. Come on.
yes,
No.
Exhibit is indeed an artist.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he's an artist. I just didn't know any of his music the same way I don't know any of Ja Rule music. But a lot of older people do.
You feel like you're not brushing up on your history?
No, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, but it's just
Okay, Exhibit 5 games. Hit My Ride, Def Jam, Fight for New York, Def Jam, Fight for New York, The Takeover, which was the PSP version,
I see.
NFL Street 2, and Madden 01.
I was joking about Madden. I just
That's
said that.
so funny.
So we've got a
Oh,
list
man.
of 5 games to play to get to our Exhibit collection.
He's in Chronicle of Riddick game, like I told you.
I
in
think this is
2009.
this must be playable characters.
Holy shit, he's in a game this year? Chrome Valley Custom.
Thanks for joining us, where we're taking an in-depth look at the career of rapper and thespian Exhibit.
Yeah, he's playing himself in the mobile game Chrome Valley Custom. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Speaking of apps, we mentioned last episode, and
Oh,
it
that's
didn't
right.
happen, but me and Winston have, as of today,
Yeah.
downloaded. Where's
No.
my phone. We've
You have
downloaded
Talking
Talking Angela.
Yeah.
Angela.
We
the
downloaded
scandalous
Talking
app
Angela.
from the early thousands.
We've both dedicated to use it for a week and see if we see a man watching us through the cat's eyes.
It
Even
was
though
weird,
that's not how
Brian.
screens work.
I open it and the very first thing I gave her like some cookie or something and she was like she gave me like a
Like it's a fortune cookie, and it was
Yeah. it was weird. It was something about if something bad happened, don't say I never warned you so, or something along that line.
Bad things can always happen, so prepare for the worst. Don't
Yeah.
say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, don't say I didn't
And
warn you. It's-
That's
he's
creepy.
getting threatened 30 seconds into downloading the
Yeah.
app. Like it
Oh,
was
man.
weird to start off with. Listen,
So
I think next episode we've got to go through some of the reviews for this app.
Oh,
I
man,
think this
it's
is I think this
funny,
is the
Brian.
new saga that we're in because
Okay, so just to recap it, last week we were talking about the app from the early 10s, was it?
Yeah,
sure.
that we got it on an iPad, and it was talking Thomas
Angela.
the cat and talking Angela the cat, and then I thought
supposedly
nothing
it
of
would
it.
spy on you and tell children weird things in the middle of the night, and you could see a man watching you.
And
in
so
the
you guys
cat's
downloaded
eyes.
it after?
Yeah.
after
Oh yeah,
that?
we both downloaded. This is on
And
our
you've been-
phones,
you've been- you've
listening
been
to us right
playing
now.
with it.
Yeah, Winston was
Oh.
trying to figure out how to get it on his computer. I went, no, the whole point is that it listens to you on your phone. That's with you all the time.
Yeah, no, it's
Like we
super
have to
weird.
let it spy on us and see what kind of weird stuff happens.
That's creepy though. And you guys both started out with the same message.
No,
I haven't
did.
opened
I
it
got
yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Winston,
I got
man.
it. I tested it.
Also, I did convince Winston because it does ask you, it's like, what year were you born?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
And first
did you
of all,
put in your actual?
the
No.
year range is
It was like
2014
yeah.
to 1904.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I did convince him. I said, tell it you're 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell it
jeez.
you're 8 years old. And
hope you guys don't get
really
put on some
get in
list.
there.
I hope
Yeah.
you don't get on some list. Don't get caught in any chat rooms.
Oh
So
no,
you-
I don't think it's from the FBI.
I know.
I feel like the list I'm gonna end up on is people to kill. Like it's just, whoever's running Talking Angela clearly won me dead with that message.
did you have to buy it, or is it's free? It's
No,
free,
it's
right?
free.
Free app.
It's
Okay.
free. Yeah. This is so dumb. Why are we doing that?
For research purposes, it's taken none of the money that you don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, free
No, but
entertainment.
I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of like a horror movie, right? You know, it's always a dumb decision that leads people to die.
That's
This
true.
is our dumb
But if you're
decision.
going to make the dumb decision, at least do it for content.
That's true.
And don't if you get a message from someone that says I'd like to meet you down at the local arcade, don't go.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, they'll be dressed as Angela.
Oh, okay. Then I gotta go.
You're fine. Yeah, your new furry friend. It's all right.
Exactly.
If they say,
exactly.
okay,
Tying
now
it all up.
we're gonna have to have a furry ban. We've had way too much discussion about furries. We're gonna have an intervention
We're
for Winston.
microdosing you, Brian.
Yeah.
This is how this is how we get you to be a
Indoctrination,
furry.
yeah.
Not my thing, man.
But
not
this
my
time next
thing.
year, Brian owns a fursuit.
Yeah, nope. That's way too expensive of a hobby for anyone to have.
Chat's gonna pay for it, Brian. You're not gonna spend a dime.
That's
on
it. Listen,
Yeah.
buy some merch. Fund Brian's fursuit.
Oh
Oh,
man.
it's so funny. But yeah, no, I would love to see. We should totally just go to the next furry convention next year. Like
You guys
we
are
all gotta-
obsessed. Okay, that's it.
we don't
now.
gotta
If it
dress
goes
up.
back to
No,
this
we
too
don't.
many
We
times,
don't
that's
gotta
it.
dress up.
Winston has a
but-
furry token. He's just cashed in.
But no, but we don't have to dress
As-
up. We just
yeah.
shows up. We do some interviews, and then we talk about our thoughts on it. That'd be cool, right?
I hope that we are nothing if not entertaining.
Yeah, come on, Brian. You're not hungry for the content enough, Brian.
I don't
You
need
have
to know. From what the last time we talked about them, there were like hotels overflowing with urine toilets. I'm fine. I don't need to know. I already
Winston,
know
I
too
guess-
much.
Winston,
right,
I guess we
here's-
got to play the wacky guys, and Brian's
Yeah.
a straight man.
All
in
right,
this,
here's-
in this
yeah,
comedy
exactly.
trio here.
Here's the thing. I'll say this. Top of the list, furry convention. We obviously got to go there.
Obviously,
on
we
the-
see that Winston's been indoctrinated over this research period.
Second on the
period,
list.
anime
Medieval
convention.
Anime convention.
No, I'm just talking convention at this point.
Ugh.
Number 3. At some point, if we can somehow afford it, I need to go to the AVN convention in Vegas and then interview all of the weirdo in there. I really need to. Have you guys ever heard of the AVN convention? Do you know what that is? It's like Comic-Con, but for porn stars. It's just that. That's it. I need to go in there, and you guys can put the freaking like glasses with the little camera right here, so I could really go
James
in and-
Bond tech on Winston.
yeah,
So
so I could fully live stream it to everybody, and
I'm pretty
also
sure
ask-
that there's probably no live streaming, and they
I've got to ask a question.
okay.
Between AVN and Comic Con, Which smells worse?
I think we know the answer to that.
Oh, it's the third option. It's the one we didn't talk about. Okay. Oh
but-
boy. Yeah.
So-
it just
no, but I was-
everything about that convention just
It just
makes
smelled
me feel
bad. Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, we saying this whole obviously no streaming. People have made it in, Brian, with obviously glasses with the camera, and they've recorded thing inside of it. And I know because this guy uploaded to TikTok.
Of course.
There's grown men, Brian, wearing adult diapers, and they're like selling it. They have a
Why do I want to see that?
Exactly. Why does anybody want to see it? Period. Why do they have the fees to afford a booth at a convention? You know, and it's not a small booth; it's a double space. How can they? And they're just standing there wearing freaking diapers, just chilling,
Pooping
and
in the
this-
booth.
Yeah. And this guy came up and he's doing fist bump to these guys.
I would not touch anyone's hand in that place.
You don't touch anything going in there. You don't
Right.
touch anything. You
You're gonna wear a hazmat suit going in. You gotta have like an oxygen tank. You gotta breathe your own air.
We talking about Comic-Con or the AVN convention?
The floor sticky
AVN
like an old movie
convention.
theater.
Again, are we talking
Yeah.
about Comic-Con or are we talking about AVN?
Yes.
It's both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Yes.
answer is yes.
It's like stepping on the floor. It's like stepping on tarmac. You just gotta like pull your whole body weight up.
That was always what it was like in the Dollar Cinema. That's what I remember about the Dollar
ew.
Cinema. You had sticky floor. Not for the spilled soft drinks, not for the
drink. Okay.
yeah, not for the reason you're saying.
I
Yeah,
thought
not for the PB Herman reason.
that's what I thought what
Yeah.
the dollar theater was.
different theaters.
That's so
Sometimes.
funny. I was gonna ask you guys this. You guys ever watch like military videos on the internet, or is that just me? Like,
What do you hold on? What do you mean by military
Yeah.
videos?
Yeah,
It
and
just-
from what country? 'Cause-
just any of them?
well, which
No,
country depends a lot
Obviously,
on how you're viewing them.
Preferably one with Americans, right? Like with American troops in it. Because here's the
Right.
thing.
Okay,
here's the
they're
thing.
not in
If you're-
caves. They're running drills in caves.
Well, here's the thing. If you ever watch like a military video, most of the time they're filmed by like an American military because we're the only freaking nation to afford GoPros on all our shit, right? so you're seeing like first person shooter, style, whatever. But like
It is actually first person.
Yes.
shooter.
right, but I will say like what I've seemed to notice is like we spared no expense whatsoever from these videos.
Right, man. You got to recruit people to do that crazy stuff.
It's crazy, man. So I watched a TikTok of it the other day. It was these American soldier. They were just chilling, like, by their Humvee, whatever. And you just hear a sniper shot whiz by, just, it's loud. And they're like, oh, we got to take cover, whatever. And then it's like, damn, that was scary as shit. And it cuts. And the very next thing you saw was some guy calling just an airplane to bomb whatever hill that this like sniper was on.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit. It's just like if this was Star Wars, they basically just did a death beam on like some random resistant. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway.
Did it make
Yeah,
you want
someone
to
tried
join?
to shoot you with the blaster, so they ordered
Yeah.
a planetary bombardment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, it doesn't make me want to join. That's the last thing I'll ever do. I don't want to go and die for a.
You do
freaking
enjoy your
Hellcat,
creature
but
comforts.
I do. But just to see all of like, I'm like, holy shit, man! How the hell did you guys lose the Vietnam War? It's just crazy to me.
You watch Star Wars. That's how.
Yeah,
Guerrilla
exactly.
warfare.
Guerrilla warfare. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Freaking Ewoks.
Yeah. You didn't know the Viet Cong had X-wings? Like, come on.
Hey, since we're mentioning Ewoks, let's go ahead and wrap this up
Oh,
here.
jeez. I turned it. Yeah, I hit the Star Wars button.
Oh.
Damn it. Sorry.
Yeah, all the coins turned in. Hey, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, thanks as always. If you liked this, let somebody else know. Rate and subscribe wherever you're listening to. That helps us out. That helps you make sure that you don't miss new episodes when they drop. If you want us to talk about something, show up live, join us in chat, or send us an email at podcastxyzxwhyz@gmail.com. Join us on Instagram. That's where you can find announcements about when we go live. You can join us on YouTube, join us on TikTok, visit us on our website where we have our store. We've got Winston's Watch and Listen list where we'll be dropping links for things that we've talked about this episode and past episodes. Podcastxyz.podbean.com. And with that, We will see everybody next time.
See ya.
See you later.